been covering this wolf stuff over in Colorado, and I was excited because of who wrote this guest column in the Gazette. The the wolf introduction is backfiring on Colorado. Here's the guy who wrote it, this guy, smiling guy with a hat on. Can you guess what he does for a living? Well, let's just scroll down to the bottom to find out who this guy is. Tim Richard is a fifth generation rancher in Grand Country, Colorado, is president of Middle Park Stock Growers Association. Hey, he's an animal abuser. So he says that he doesn't want to. He comes up with all these reasons why reintroducing wolves into the wild lands of beautiful Colorado, why it's wrong. Now the people have voted. The people voted. Now this is the danger when you are a rancher and you own hundreds, maybe thousands of cows. Your vote is still going to be outweighed by the people that live in the cities, because you might own so much land, but the guy living in the apartment actually outweighs you. Your money can't buy everything, buddy boy. Your land can't buy everything. So it was controversial. It was a tight race, but in Colorado, they voted to reintroduce wolves into the wild, and they almost immediately came into conflict with the rights of the ranchers. Ranchers, of course, allow their bovine creatures normally to graze on BLM land. Bureau of Land Management, for anyone who's asking. Bureau of Land Management in the United States maintains all of the federal lands, and we call that the range. So out on the range, they allow on our land, on federal land, to their stock. But what happens is wild horses, wild wolves, all of these other wild animals come into conflict with their livestock. I know you hate the term livestock, because how can you be a livestock? How could you just be an object? Well, because they're objectifying you. These are slaves living out on the range, and they round them up. What I think is this is they have had problems with certain Indian reservations trying to figure out how to get the wolves, because wolves don't grow on trees either. So if you need wild wolves and you're going to relocate them, it immediately presents a challenge, right? So they've had some little bumps in the road there that are being kind of blown up by the ranchers, saying, "You see, you're untrustworthy. You're screwing over the Indians." Not really what happened, but I do like that argument. Oh, look how you guys are treating the Indians. Is it the Indians you care about, ranchers? I'm pretty sure that you killed all the Indians. Your ancestors killed all the Indians. You're a fifth generation rancher. You don't care about the Indians. Trust me. If you're a fifth generation rancher, you got that land by, let's just call it, shady means, okay? There have been disagreements in Idaho about how to get the wolves, stuff like that. So, and they're saying that there's been a strain on many of the very relationships that are critical to future conservation efforts, the Idaho Department of Fish and Game said. Yeah, okay. Strain on efforts to prevent wildlife from going extinct. But the thing that I really like too is he's saying that no one's talking about the human toll. Now, when we go out and we talk to when we see our animals, we don't even know. We don't even know what's going to happen. You know, these poor animals could be ripped apart by wolves. In addition to the lost livestock, some of our ranchers have suffered. There is the less talked about cost of the extra stress we are enduring. We are enduring. We now must worry if our animals will come home, or if we will find dead animals viciously ripped apart by wolves. Viciously ripped apart by wolves. I doubt anyone considered the human costs involved when voting for the wolf reintroduction program. Aw, gee whiz. Aw, gee whiz. Let's take a step back and work together as we always have to find a better solution. Colorado needs to figure out why its program is stumbling. And was there not enough scientific research done before implementation? Are politicians Look, you can blame all of these. Who's calling the shots? Population levels of deer and elk are a 30-year low. Wolves will further deplete their numbers. I love what they like to say. What is it? Is it the Indians that you care about? Is it is it the wild that you care about? The wild elk that you care about? Is that it? Is that what you care about, ranchers of Colorado? Is that what you care? You care about the stress that you have to endure? No. You care about the money. It's always been about the money. That's why the wolves have been extirpated in the first place. That's why you killed them, fifth generation rancher. That's why you killed them in the first place. And now that they're introducing wolves in order to try to promote more wildlife out there on the range, build a fence. Build a fence. You've had 5 generations to build a fence, asshole. Build a fence and use your own land that you own rather than federal land. We're using federal land now. We're putting wolves on it. That's what we're going to do. We voted. We're putting wolves on the federal land, buddy. Get your wolves off of it. But I have a right. Well, we got a right. Bartleby, never believe when people tell you that they care about something other than money. It's almost always money. It's almost when it comes to animals, it's probably money, Bartleby. Oh, Bartleby. Oh, humanity.